So I like how one of the things was that we made a timeline, because this kind of just narrowed out the certain dates in which they did things. So I thought that was pretty easy, I guess.
Yeah, I think your timeline might be a little bit more precise and perfect than mine.
Oh, really? Are you
So,
guys out of the hospital yet, or are you?
yeah, we're back at home, but I got a
Hectic?
2.5-year-old that really wants more and more attention just because she doesn't want to feel left out or something. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, my kids, they're about 2 years apart too, so I went through the same thing. Still going through the same thing, and now they're 4 and 2.
oh boy, hope they learn how to share.
Yeah. All right. Do we just want to jump in then?
Yeah.
All right. So, what grade would you give the founders of Rent the Runway for their work in starting R2R? I didn't.
Honestly,
Did they want like a specific grade?
that I wasn't quite sure, but I mean, if I were had to like narrow it, I'd give them like an A minus B plus because they had to go through a tremendous amount of work trying to, secure the venture capitalists, trying to get the funding to, start the business, as well as they had to go through all the different designers and get them all on board to, even work with them on giving them their name brands.
Yeah.
So,
Well, selling them, because I really thought they gave up too easy when they went to the designer and she said, "Well, I'll be on board if you get everybody else on board." And they're like, "Well, I guess we'll just buy them from these designers instead of going to all the other designers to get them on board."
I kind of thought the same way, that they should have put up a little bit more fight. But then again, I think they also kind of, challenge accepted. I'm going to go get all these others because we want to expand anyways.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I guess I don't know, they might have been able to use that as a kind of a leverage, saying, well, we got someone that's on board if you're willing to get on board. And the more we can, evenly distribute this, the more successful this business will become and the more profitable everybody will be.
Well, and if they did that, just like you said, they'd be more profitable. They wouldn't have to buy the dress, because it said like the average cost of a middle 2-tier dress was $226. So if they could get the designers on board where they all made a profit, I think it would be cheaper for them. They wouldn't have to hold as much inventory. Then if they ran out of inventory, they could go directly to the designers and say, "Hey, we're out. What do you have right away?"
That would be a lot better of a business if they could actually have that kind of a secure connection. Because in any business, you don't want to hold inventory. I mean, I'm sure that's what you're learning every day. The longer you have inventory sitting on your thing is, suspended money that's just devaluing.
Yeah. But at the same time, you want to have enough inventory that you don't have that wait list that they talked about.
Yeah.
Because if you're all about customer service and you've got how many did they say? Like 50,000 people? Does that sound about right? Let's see if I've got I didn't write that one down. Oh, yeah. In December 2009, the waiting list grew to 50,000 people. So you've got 50,000 people just waiting on you because of your inventory issue. So, like I said, I think they could have done better that way.
Yeah. Well, my overall thoughts from what I kind of took down on my notes was I was kind of in and out tirelessly, but I said the best thing that they could do first is to spend the money on improving their website. I felt that they're having a lot of challenges with that, and then allowing it to be more user friendly. I also think they need to increase their conversion rates, because I felt that they didn't have adequate analysis. Like, they needed to understand the customers a lot more. So I think they needed to analyze the rental patterns, which if they could all construct that better on the website, then they could really understand, the more target groups, and to put probably a better value on what to rent the dresses for. Because, I mean, these are just kind of like, oh, well, we kind of configured what our baseline is, and we're just going to kind of throw a number out there.
Yeah.
And they could be leaving money on the table. You know, women or the people that are renting the dresses, they could potentially be willing to pay more than just the 10% value of the dress, maybe 12% or even 15%. But they wouldn't quite understand that without developing that. And then that's when I kind of tied back into expanding their inventory and hiring a manager of some sort to manage the inventory.
Yeah, because it said that they wanted to put one of the owners in charge of the inventory side, but it seemed like they had enough on their plate they needed to hire out.
I think the two owners shouldn't do it all. That they should just hire an inventory manager, one that can manage the inventory, and then like a web search engine optimization developer that could manage that portion of it as well.
Yeah. And on their website, if they would make it so, I guess the sizes per designer or whatnot was there, then they could cut out the cost of sending 2 dresses, because they send 2 dresses to make sure that it fits. You're just throwing away money by shipping 2 dresses instead of sending one and shipping another to another person.
Yeah. Or, I mean, isn't the larger volume of shipping, don't they have like a contract with the distributor of some sort? I think that's what Amazon does. They have a contract with, you know, FedEx or UPS, like a flat rate rather than adjustable rate.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, well, I guess back in the 2009, 2010, when they developed that, they didn't really have the flat rate, but today's competitive market, I think they do.
Yeah. Because weren't they just using standard mail?
Yeah. They didn't reach out to expand their network. I mean, if they went through the lengths of securing with designers and venture capitalists, why wouldn't they secure a way for, you know, proper distribute, you know,
Yep.
shipping and whatnot? Because I
Yeah.
think they said somewhere around 12, like just under $13 is what they had to charge to ship it and receive it back, plus the insurance of like $4 to $5. That alone would kind of be like, why would you want to pay 10% value of the dress plus shipping plus insurance? That would get you, you know, a couple hundred into it.
Yeah, because I think they said the cost per rental was $31. That's what it cost them, and that was shipping and all that stuff.
Oh, so 31 was included the shipping for the 13?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it said it on the bottom of the graph there.
I was gonna say shipping's 13 and the insurance was 5, so that already puts it at $18. And then I guess it would, you know, determine on what dress you're renting, because they said cost between $75 and what was it, 300 or something, and the average was 2 something. Sorry,
Because on Exhibit 4, it says variable cost per rental is $31. Then it says variable costs include shipping, dry cleaning, credit card processing, and packaging.
Awesome, I see.
So,
Wow.
and I guess that includes, because they ship out 2 dresses, so I'm guessing that just includes both dresses in there. So, all right, do we think we answered number 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I think we might have actually kind of wandered off and maybe started touching bases on a few other questions.
We did.
What else we got?
Have the founders of R2R validated their business model? What is their business model? Be specific. What are the key elements of R2R's business model? What does it mean to validate a business model? How do you know if it's validated? What elements are validated? What evidence do you have to support your position? And then invite others to differing viewpoints. So their business model that I picked up, they were trying to be like Netflix. Over and over they mentioned Netflix. Is that right?
Yeah.
But then one of their business models, like they mentioned just word of mouth, that they would invite like 5,000 people. And then by word of mouth, you could invite others to look at their page, but it was only through invitation. Is that kind of what you got too?
Yeah, I kind of when I kind of developed that idea, I kind of related it to what you see with women having little group parties that they just develop. You know, you have one consultant and then they invite all their friends, and then they ask, one that shows the most interest to be a consultant and to invite more friends. And then it's just kind of that whole network. Kind of the same setup as what I guess Norex and a few other female
Like
product
Mary
lines
Kay and
have.
that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like the pyramid scheme.
Yep, I'm a little out there in left field for women, but yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Is my thought was more of the pyramid style
Yeah,
with the private parties,
that's what I thought about too.
but that would be a better way to control inventory, but that by any means wouldn't really grow. You know what I mean? It's word of mouth is a great tool, but to limit yourself by friends of a friends of a friends kind of feed out would take a lot longer.
Yeah, but then with the word of mouth, I can't remember. Somebody shared an article or wrote an article, and then they like jumped up. What was it, 50,000 or something like that? Let's see if I can get that number.
Word of mouth, isn't that how they all of a sudden got behind?
Yeah,
With that in December, the 50,000 behind.
yep. But it was like a newspaper article or something.
Oh, one of the exhibits.
Yeah, that was shared, and then they were way behind. But I can't remember. Oh, right there. It says by then R2R had received 2,000 orders and had registered more than 150,000 members. And that was just off of a newspaper article. So I guess it works for them.
Yeah, word of mouth is definitely more cost effective.
Yeah. Didn't have to advertise as much.
Yeah, the marketing advertising expenses would dramatically decrease.
Mm-hmm. Seeing it says to back up your point about like the pyramid. It says just like Netflix, we're asking women to engage in a very new model of behavior. So the challenge is to get members to try it for the first time. So by word of mouth, I guess.
More people are better to describe their experience if they did have, little sample parties. And I think that's where their first two trials came into play when they went to the two colleges and they got to experience, hey, I want to see your actual reaction when you look at dresses and put them on. And that's, what also kind of self boosts their confidence. And this is a very viable business.
Yeah. And it also, it put that 98% of customers rented brands they'd never owned. And then after renting it, 90% reported that they had high intent for purchasing the brand. So it goes back to the designer. It does help out the designer. So if they would have worked, I think, closer with the designer to figure out their inventory, it would have benefited both of them.
I still think that might be an opportunity because, now that they're actually developing ways to record and analyze it, then they can, say, hey, I brought your sales up because I went ahead and invested into your brand. Now it's time to, create a partnership. You give me some, better deals and I can better expand your business and you'll generate more revenue.
Exactly. Do we think we touched on that then?
Yeah.
Okay. How many times does a dress need to be rented in order to break even? So I'll kind of go what I did. It's based off of that exhibit. What was it for? Let's see. And if you got different numbers, let me know. But I said, okay, the average cost of a middle two-tier dress is $226. Revenue per rental is $90. Cost per rental is $31. So profit off of that would be $59. they wanted us to make sure that we realized that they shipped 2 dresses to ensure the correct fit. So I divided profit by 2 because you are sharing with 2 different dresses. And then I said profit per dress is $29.50. If it costs $226 per dress, the dress needs to be rented 8 times to pay for itself. What did you get?
I got a little bit lower numbers. I think your numbers were a lot better than mine. In mine, I'm pulling it up now. That's one thing I didn't pull up. Yeah, I don't know how I got the cost that it would take 2.5 rentals to get their cost of the dress, and I think that was per dress. So I think that would have been like 5 rentals to get their cost back. And then I started breaking down to the charge rate of the $5 and then the packaging for $12.95.
Okay.
I don't think I quite computed the exhibit number 4 with the 31 is, I think is where I kind of led my numbers off. I thought that a military dress was kind of the breakdown. So then I took the 31 with the additional 5 and 13. So I think that's where I kind of messed up on my numbers.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know it said revenue per rental. I didn't know if that was after the cost, but then it puts the cost right after, so I don't think it is. Because I did it and I was like, oh, they could pay for the dress in like 2.5.
Yeah.
Then I got thinking about it, and then in the notes for us, it said, remember that they ship out 2 dresses, so you've got to just take that into factor. Okay, now you're shipping 2 dresses, one of which is not going to be rented out. One's just basically getting it for free, even though they're not going to wear it. So you would still divide it by 2, I would think.
For both dresses then.
What was that?
So was somewhere in the case study I read that it was like $12.95 or $12.99 or something for the packaging to be shipped there and back. I don't remember if that was specifically for one dress or for both dresses.
I would think it would be for one, because on that exhibit, it does say in the fine print that it costs include shipping, dry cleaning, credit card processing, and packaging. Because if you double that variable cost, they're like making nothing.
Yeah.
But you would probably have to dry clean even the one that wasn't worn, because every house, I guess, has a different smell, and if it smells nasty, then you'd want to dry clean it.
Well, I guess my calculation for the expense was like $49, and then whatever the percentage of the dress was pretty much profit.
Okay.
So that kind of brought it up a little bit more. Saying if $49 is for your total expense for everything, then it would just depend on the percentage of the dress of what they would rent for, right? You said it gives an average at the bottom.
Yep. All right. So do we want to move on to 4?
Yeah.
Should R2R seek to scale quickly now or address operation efficiencies? I think they need to address their operation efficiencies before they take off quick. Because if you don't have a strong back room or warehouse and they wanted to add more like accessories and all that stuff, I think they need to work on their operational part. So the warehouse, the web page, their management structure before they expand too much.
I agree. That's what I put in my notes, that they definitely needed to, work on developing their website, work on their research development a little bit more. Like, they're still in their early stages. They don't want to grow too big too fast because they don't really have the foundation of the company that could support, if anything were to change.
Yep.
So I said, along with doing the big problem, they'd have that warehouse efficiency, hiring a logistic expert to help organize the way that they're doing things would minimize the errors and packaging and shipping costs, and then they should then after that expand.
Yep. I think they're just looking at it right now and saying, "Oh, we're doing so well, we might as well just do it right now." But
I think they need, yeah. I mean, they're like, yeah, we got to get things going, but there's always room for improvement, specifically in what they currently got going on before they take on more on their plate.
well, yeah, because they said that they had back orders, they had misshipped items, so that there's a lot of room for improvement.
But why would you want to take on more inventory and more customers if they can't even, take care of the customers that they currently have on the waiting list?
That's true. Well, they said they got it down to like 5,000, but still,
5,000 is still quite a bit of customers. I mean, especially if they rent it on average for $90. 90 times 5,000 is quite a bit of money profits that they're losing.
well, and you get all those dresses or the inventory up, then you're going to have more of a like a warehouse problem.
I guess just that 5,000 that's on a waiting list would be potential another $450,000
Yeah,
profit. And it is far more cost effective to find ways to reduce the expense rather than to expand your sales, at least in all the other different business classes of configuring the math. If you shaved off 2% from expenses rather than improving your sales by 5%, you're still more profitable by reducing your expenses.
yep,
And you can do that a lot quicker than trying to entice more people to buy more product. Because, I mean, now you got 5,000 people waiting. What if, you're okay, well, we got more inventory, so now we can take care of the extra 5,000 people. Well, then that whole new age group would bring another 10,000 people on the waiting list.
it's true.
So,
Yep, I agree. All right, and I think that's it.
awesome.
So I'll send you the link again. Does that help or?
It does help a lot easier just to kind of copy and put it into my post group
Yeah.
discussion. You definitely touched on some things that kind of got me to gear a little bit more, especially since my number figures didn't quite make sense. Looking back over it, I mean, if they average, $90, and then for my configuration of expenses of like $49 or something like that, their rate of return or whatever was $41, which would almost put them near 50%, which is a tremendous growth as far as the business side. So that didn't quite seem quite right either. Because I mean, most businesses usually make between 20 and 30. Once in a while, they might make more, but that's usually the average is 20 to 30.
Yep.
Unless you're doing promotions, then it's like 18.
Or if it's your own brand. So like I work at Walgreens, and some of the Walgreens brand products, we're making 50-60% gross.
You got to make up that difference for the ones that are name brand, because they might retail sell it to you for less than. Because when I worked for Pepsi, there were some times that on our special sales, we were willing to take less profit for a larger volume.
Yeah. And
so
going to Pepsi, see, we pay like, what was it? On the invoice, it's like $5 for a 12-pack, but then we'll sell it for like 4 for 12. So we're losing money there unless Pepsi's helping us on the back end, which sometimes happens. But
I think they do in a different variety of product, because the cost of the cans and the cost of the cardboard to put them in are less cost effective than the ones in the bottle. Because I mean, you get them in shrink wrapped packages, and so I think that goes for any other kind of item. Because I did used to deliver for Walgreens, and your scan-in system was different from everyone else.
it is.
It was kind of give and take. It's you would make a profit on one item and you'd lose some on another item, but to have that variety made your company more appealing for the average consumer to come say, hey, well, they have not only the 2 liters, the 1 liters, the 20 ounces, but they also got the 12 packs. Yeah, let's just go there rather than, oh, well, they don't make any money on 12 packs. They don't carry 12 packs, and that's what I want because I want to share with a family, you know.
Exactly.
So I understand, and I appreciate you for kind of bringing my attention back more to that expense and profit. Because in my mind, I thought, oh, well, maybe this company is far more profitable. But if they were as profitable as I was configuring, then they wouldn't really need near as many venture capitalists to kind of step in and say, oh, we want to get in on this. We want to
Yep.
help your business grow rapidly to the point that no one knows enough to how to properly organize and manage it. You know, that is the key component to their business, right? Any
Right.
business, you want to be able to manage you, your employees, and if you don't have the right person in the right place, then it costs a lot of frustration and a lot of expense.
Yep. I was just gonna say the right person in the right place.
Well, even at my company now that we have, they have over 430 people that they are having a hard time managing.
Because
And
they're in the
there's,
wrong
well,
place.
yeah. Well, the problem is they were set in their old ways. So as the company grows, they feel that anybody that is like his seniority, the longest person there, should be the man for the position because he knows all the aspects of the business. But they're kind of discrediting the modern technology of individuals that may have, you know, been taking classes, going to school, that could utilize today's tools to help speed up the process. So rather than managing the people and their skill sets and putting them in the right place, what they're doing is they're just randomizing it. Um, we got a specific process engineer. He does excellent at engineering, but he's never taken management classes, so he doesn't know what to do with people. And so he's putting welders in like the sugar warehouse to just move inventory, and he's putting people that run equipment in positions that required skilled people to, you know, fabricate stuff. And I
And it's
mean,
just
there's,
because he has seniority.
yeah, it's just, oh, he's been here for 20 years, so he should know how to do that job. And the people that I talk to, they're like, this is the first time I've been in this section. I don't know
That's
what I'm doing. It's
crazy.
like, well, you need to, you know, learn how to use a welding machine. He's like, I haven't striked an arc in like 20 years, you know? And so they're putting welders with, you know, people that are fixing valves. And you got people that are doing valves trying to figure out how to weld. And it's just because, oh, well, they should already know this and they don't get to know that individual. They're just some number that they put their name on the Excel and they hit randomize.
That's crazy.
And I mean, there's been countless times that I've gone to the human resource to say, hey, I want to utilize my skills and I want to help you help your company be more profitable. Because why would you invest the time and money training this individual in a section that they have no interest in because they're not going to be passionate about it and they're going to try every opportunity to move on to something else? Then you're right back to training someone new.
Or why
When,
would you pay a welder to go move product?
yeah, they're just moving valves, they're cleaning valves, and they're mad and frustrated because they're not doing their skills that they've, you know, worked hard on developing and wanting to do. They're not passionate about tearing the valve apart. And you got people that are on the back end saying, hey, I want that opportunity. Pick me. I want to be in instrumentation. I want to do electrical. And they're just kind of throwing people around.
That's crazy. Doesn't
So,
seem like they'll
I mean,
they'll be very profitable if they keep doing that.
oh, trust me, they still got plenty of profit.
They do, but
They
they could
have
be
more
more
money than they want to do with. They could build a whole brand new plant, but because of the emission environment safeties, they don't want those expenses that they're just going to maintain everything from the inside out.
profitable.
So the outside of the plant's looking all old, but the inside's like all new components because it's all grandfathered in or whatever.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that I guess kind of wandering off how we can apply the rent to runway, their case study of how to managing product. You can easily implement that into every other um, business into some aspect. How to properly manage the inventory and how to properly manage the people, right?
Yep.
So I
That's
guess
true.
that would be the best way to end our notes.
Yep. I like that.
Just hope that Walgreens doesn't show that you're sharing all the good information.
I know.
Pepsi's not going to come after me, I hope.
Cool. All right. Well,
So,
thanks.
no, I appreciate you for working with my schedule. Last night was just such a late night. So
Yeah, no problem.
until next week, sir. Thank you.
All right. Yep. See ya.